So this is Charlie, aka Moist Critical, gets about 1 million or more views per video, right? So YouTube did something to him and it just exposes, and I don't even really like that word exposes, but really it exposes YouTube and their double standards. How this happened, I don't know, man. I really don't know. I could totally clickbait this and be like, you're not going to believe what happened. Really, you won't believe what YouTube did in the end, guys. So anyways, this is Moist Critical, and this is where the story begins. He said, I was going to handle this privately, which is good. You should always do that on YouTube when you can. But it seems there is actually no human review in these things. The video that was taken down and put a strike on my channel is not even a real road rage incident and has no injury, blood, or anything. Not even fake blood or injury. And then he added Team YouTube. And here it is right here. It says violent or graphic content. Now, this video right here, Road Rager learns a hard lesson. Guys, this was a joke. It was a bunch of people in costumes. They were mascots and they were like fake fighting or something on the road. Yep. And YouTube didn't like that and said it was violent or graphic content. In no way, shape, or form is that true.
Well, and here's the other point. Like, I could understand why they might get that video pulled down if it was kids content on YouTube Kids, right? But these are obviously adults doing adult things. They're not making content for kids. And there's so much graphically violent content on YouTube as it is. It's like, what the heck are you thinking, YouTube?
Yeah,
why would you pull this video?
This, right? And even after the appeal, you can see here, appeal rejected, because look what YouTube did. They replied to Critical, confirming that a member of the team reviewed the video and the decision stands. Footage containing graphic content, fights, beatings, etc., with the intent to shock or violate our community guidelines, our CGs. Since you're in touch with a partner manager, they'll be the best person of contact to answer questions you have. So basically, yeah, we reviewed it and no. And he said that just confirmed no one watched the video, because if they would have watched the video, it's a bunch of little like mascots play fighting. It's not, there's nothing violent to it.
Nope.
He said everyone I've talked to at YouTube doesn't agree with this decision either. So he's got contacts at YouTube and they're like, I don't know why they did that. I wouldn't have done it. Would love a more thorough explanation for what actually goes on with these reviews.
So for you guys who don't know YouTube lingo terminology, right? A partner manager is somebody that you can get when you qualify for some extra help from YouTube. Usually, I think it's when you cross 100,000 subscribers, you can fill out an application, then you can qualify to actually speak with someone at YouTube to help solve problems or help provide guidance as you're growing your YouTube channel. YouTube is saying is go talk to your partner manager. They'll be the person that you should.
Which sounds like you're just passing it off. You're just passing the buck. He probably talked to his partner manager already, and like clearly someone apparently watched the video, reviewed it, and anyways, he probably shouldn't have done this, but it's true. Markiplier, he said Markiplier also made a video laughing about the same fake road rage incident. You can see it down here. When will he be getting his strike? Luckily, Markiplier doesn't take this in a bad way. He responds in a second, but then he says, obviously, no one should be in trouble for joking about what is clearly a staged video here. I'd just like to know why only mine was deemed disturbing and shocking. Good question, right? What's the double standard here? Markiplier he had this video out for a long time. He never got a strike. So here's where it gets really interesting. Markiplier actually replies. He quotes Charlie's Critical's tweet, and he says, fair is fair. At Team YouTube, where's my strike?
Yep.
Good for Markiplier, man, because this is huge. This is YouTubers should not be treated separately depending on if someone at YouTube likes your channel or not. It's the same exact video. One YouTuber got a strike, one didn't. So Markiplier said, LOL, there it is. YouTube took Markiplier's tweet seriously, and they said, okay, fine, we'll give you a strike too. Like
it's vindictive.
Yeah, almost vindictive. Yeah. And then Markiplier, he's taken this well, which, I mean, good for him, man. Good for him. I'm glad it was him that this happened to, because many people would have taken offense to Critical calling him out. But he said, to be absolutely clear, I don't blame the moistest man on the internet, Moist Critical, for all of this. Fair is fair. And if this is the game that YouTube wants to play, I've got my SpongeBob costume on and I'm ready to throw hands. I love it.
This is where it really gets good, because YouTube responds and this is what they have to say.
So Critical said to them, I'm absolutely shocked YouTube is deciding to die on this hill, striking even the most wholesome content or wholesome creator, which is Markiplier on the site, rather than admit it was a mistake in the first place, right?
Yep.
What's next, Team YouTube? Striking every WWE video for fake violence as well? That's a good point. I mean,
very good point.
These are really good points. They actually listen. I don't think I've
ever
seen them say they're wrong. I know. Update, we're not going to die on this hill. You were right. after even further, I'm sure, yeah, even further review. I don't even know if they reviewed the first time, but after even further review, your video and others are back up and these strikes have been removed. This was an over enforcement of our policies, especially with the added context and commentary, as you originally pointed out.
I've got a personal story I got to share about this. We got a strike on one of our videos a number of years ago. When I used to do the orthodontic retainer lab. Remember that, Denver? When I used to make ortho retainers, you guys. You know, when kids get their braces off, they put the retainers in to hold their teeth straight. So I used to make really weird retainers, but one of the retainers that I made was actually I put a squishy inside of a retainer. Remember when squishies were really popular? Yep, all those trends, man. So I put a squishy in the retainer, and it got a strike. And I had no idea what it was. I appealed it. Yeah, I appealed it. And then they wrote back that they reviewed it, and then they found that it was inappropriate content.
So they confirmed their review.
They never said anything about what the problem was.
For a squishy and a retainer. You got wow.
The only thing that I could think of was at the very beginning, my daughter and I had kind of a skit in the video where I was like, I'm gonna take your squishy, I'm gonna cut it up and put it in a retainer. And she's like, no. But then she helps me make the retainer. Right? She helps me. She gets into it.
They thought it was bullying. They thought you were like, it was like, I mean, pretend bullying between a father and his daughter about cutting up a squishy.
Yeah. No, it was ridiculous. And
dude, I'm so glad though. I'm so glad that we have two massive successful YouTubers that called out this horrible double standard. Cause I mean, truthfully, like, you know, as awesome as a platform YouTube is, all it takes is one employee to dislike a channel. I'm not saying that's what happened here, but one employee disliked Critical's channel and said, ha, we finally got him. Dude, that's scary. That's actually terrifying.
That's a lot of power. That's a lot of power somebody having. That's somebody's livelihood.
Like your entire life. Yeah.
These guys are making a full-time income and then probably supporting a team of other people who are working on their staff, right?
Yeah.
That's jacked up. That's messed up in my opinion.
I mean, they tried to do this with somebody who has many millions of subs and huge support. And thank goodness Markiplier took it the way he did. I mean, props to Markiplier, man. There is a good ending to all of this, man. YouTube admitted they were wrong. And then Critical, his final reply, and actually his last tweet that we've seen, it says absolutely fantastic news. I think we're all thankful to hear you were willing to go back and reevaluate the decision. It means a lot to creators to see that. And that's true. Hopefully we can all have more open dialogue when it comes to things like this in the future. Thank you.
Okay, so here's a question then for you, Denver. What are some ways that people can avoid this if they don't have 1 million subscribers or millions of subscribers? How can they avoid getting themselves into the situation?
If you think this is going to offend somebody, just take it out of your video if you never want to mess with this. That's what I do in my videos. If I think it's going to be remotely controversial and make somebody at YouTube mad or make somebody report my video, I'm going to avoid it. That's the sad reality. YouTube is not just a platform you can just say and do whatever you want to do anymore. Get into YouTube knowing that you have to censor yourself. You have to maintain a socially acceptable view. As sad as it is to say that, it's just the way it is.
YouTube community guidelines, they're so vague. They're changing all the time. And so YouTube really kind of owns you when you're on that platform. What they hold you responsible for, they might not hold someone else responsible for. So you just have to understand that when you are on the platform, you're playing their game and their rules are constantly changing. It's like a slummy landlord who's just always changing up your lease agreement. Like 1 month you're going to you're going to make this, you're going to have to pay this amount, and 1 month we're not going to repair your dishwasher. You know, it's like YouTube has that power. You need to be building an email list from day one. If they cancel you, then you're going to lose all of your subscribers. They're not going to know where to find you. So you got to have that email list going.
There you go, guys. Like, have a backup plan, because for me, if my channel gets canceled, I'm a former teacher. I don't know if probably a lot of you guys don't know that, but I can go back into teaching, like, no problem. So always have a backup plan. Now I have multiple channels, plus Scott and I teach, you know, the ZTL course that you guys can see in the link below if you want to learn YouTube, but like, always have a backup plan. Markiplier, by the way, he also added this. I appreciate the reinstatement and apology. And then he said, I'm willing. I like how he's like reluctantly, like, he goes, I'm willing to accept that mistakes can happen and hope we can work together to minimize the chance that it will happen in the future.
All right, you guys, thanks for sticking around for some of the YouTube drama. You guys just make sure to keep your nose clean, make sure that you're doing things the right way, and then understand again that you're playing by YouTube's rules when you're on their platform. So just buckle up for the ride and prepare for anything that might come at you. Other than that, you guys check out the links in the description. If you want a free 30-day trial for TubeBuddy, we've got that down there for you, and that's Legend status. So it's $50 savings. And then if you want to check out the ZTL, the Zero to Legend course, we've got that in the description as well, and the price is going up soon. So if you want to be a big YouTuber, hop on that ASAP. All right, you guys, we'll see you in the next video. Peace.